Sorry. Right, hello everybody, welcome for another exciting episode of Different Bloke with Mick. Right, so for those who haven't subscribed, push the magic button, see if we can get members up now. I'm starting to get a little bit better now. Right, and this time you're going to go, oh no, yeah, Mick's going to come off the fence at this time. So it's a little bit different, this one. I'm going to talk about one of the hottest topics there is at the moment, and that is very problematic, I suppose, really. And that is men who used to be men who are now ladies competing against women in sports. I've done this already, but I'm going to go over it because there's a lot of things kicking off at the moment. I'd like to just put a different perspective on things. Right, first of all, traditionally men were taught not to hit women. Okay, so they're taught not to hit women, but now men are going into wrestling, MMA, and these sort of sports, and they're winning them. They're winning these sports. Now you've got to ask yourself, and the point that everyone's getting across is that these men, some of them have been men and trained in these particular sports all their life, but when they were competing against men, they didn't do very well. So they decided, right, okay, I'll tell them I'm a woman and then I'll win. And that's exactly what happened. And I've seen it. I saw running races where they absolutely trounced them. MMA matches where the winner just suddenly came up with the deepest voice I've ever heard. And then you've got lots and lots of occasions. Now for the ladies, I absolutely am speechless, because not only are they doing it there, they're doing it in schools and colleges and everything like that. They just say, oh, I'm a woman, and then walking into changing rooms. I'm sorry, but if you do that, these laws to protect women, and they seem to be trampled on just because someone says I'm a woman. So no, I'm sorry, but it's just not on. Some of these people have beards, and they say I'm a woman walking in. You know, you've got murderers who want to be put in a women's prison but they're fully equipped as a man, but they say they're a woman, so they want to but they've killed people and they want to be put into women's prisons. No. The world has gone absolutely bonkers. Now, I'll be quite honest. The people I know that have transitioned and everything like that, that I call friends, no, I'm Mick. I believe in men and women. And if you want to call yourself whatever, good on you. That's entirely up to you. I will abide by what your wishes are, because you are my friend. But I am, as a friend, I feel it is my right to have my personal opinions as well, and not what you tell me forced upon me. And in this case, it's 3% of the population is telling the other 97%, we want the rules changed and you can like it or lump it. Well, no, it doesn't work like that. It's called democracy. If you want to change something, you do it by the ballot box. You do it by the vote, not by throwing a little hissy fit and getting your own way. That's what children did when I was young. Do you know what I did if I had a hissy fit? I got a clip. We're not allowed to do that now anymore, though, are we? No, and look where it's got us. People are getting fed up to death of hearing about this rubbish. So before, nobody mentioned it. Everyone went, okay, if you want to do that, no problem whatsoever. And I spoke to one of my friends. I can't mention him, but he was a he, changed to a she, and he said I was worried about coming. I said, you're my friend. Your exterior and how you feel, that's entirely up to you, and I will respect that. And that was the end of the matter. He didn't say, right, now you've got to do such and such, because I would have said no, because I'm who I am, and how I feel is how I feel. So it goes two ways. But you cannot, the small minority cannot force upon the minority their will. That's undemocratic. if you watch me, you know that I'm a democratic person. I believe that I will fight for your right to go and vote. But you have to do that. One of the few occasions where the 3% has taken over the 97% was the Russian Revolution with the Bolshevik Party. So that's, if you want that sort of thing, that's your result. Didn't work very well for them, did it? It lasted about 80 years, then collapsed. Okay, so there you go. That's a bit of history for you. Right. Also, for the ladies, if you've got somebody who has a distinct advantage over you, and there's only one person competing out of 8, 7 of you step down. Because it's not a race with one person in. And if you're not entering, your supporters don't follow you. And if your supporters don't follow you, that governing body will find that they're out of a job quicker than Jack Flash. Because they rely on the funds of those people following you to fill their stadiums. That's how you do it democratically. If you want the safest, non-argumentative way to do it, is to actually have male swimming, or I'm just using swimming, male swimming events, female swimming events, and all other events. Anybody else? So then, if people do advantage, they are not. They're only advantage in that one section. I've seen them. I've seen a lot of times. 20 years ago, people would not blink. You're gay, lesbian, yep, whatever, no problem. But now this small percentage of activists is absolutely blowing everything out of proportion, making everybody feel uncomfortable. No matter what your feelings are towards anything, everybody's feeling uncomfortable. Can I say this, or am I going to get persecuted for it? Am I going to do this? I'm saying this as a man. I'll be misogynistic now, I suppose, and whatever. Right. Next thing is ladies. This cis woman. No such thing. Absolutely no such thing. I'll tell you what CIS stands for. SIS. Cooperative Insurance Services. That's what it stands for. So unless you're a lady working for an insurance company, CIS does not apply to you. If you dig up everybody from now in 100 years, I will guarantee you that when the archaeologist looks at the hip bones, they'll go male, female. That'll be it. Nobody else. So it doesn't matter. And at the end of the day, no matter what you do to your body, augment it, whatever, do whatever you want. I don't care. If you're my friend, you're my friend. That's your body. You do what you want to it. But at the end of the day, you have to understand one thing. The majority of people, either you just go along with everybody like we used to and nobody was offended by anything, or you end up being hated. And you're going to put it all back. Generations, going back to generations of hate. And I can tell you, as a near on 60-year-old man, that when I was a little kid, they used to get, oh, come on, I come from a rough background. They used to say, come on, let's go gay bashing. Do you want to go back to those days? Because I tell you what, you're pushing it back to those days. I'll give you a typical example. When Just Stop Oil started, their little protesters standing and gluing themselves in the road and everything like that. Nobody was hurt. They put up with it to start off with, then they got a bit of pain in the neck. And what happened on the last one? Somebody ran over somebody's foot. Because you've got the population hating you. This is when people do things wrong. This is what happens. And I've just seen one today where, I'm not sure, it wasn't the UK, it was somewhere else, where they actually glued them, where some protesters, I'm not sure what protest it was, glued themselves to Ferraris. They've ruined the Ferraris with the glue. But not only that, those Ferraris were lent by a corporation or somebody to raise for a foundation for children. they've now had to take all the Ferraris off. So those children haven't received anything at all. They haven't received any help whatsoever. So well done to those protesters. How small-minded that you went in there. You destroyed works of art because the Ferraris were very rare. So you destroyed. So you've got all the motor people now against you as well. And then you've actually got the kids to actually lose all the money. How small-minded. And the last one I will have on this absolutely massive rant is again our friends from Bud. They've learnt their lesson now, and to follow that, now Ford. I saw an advert for Ford, and I'm thinking, oh, do not people listen? 3% of your people buy your cars. 97% of people buy your cars. Which one do you want? Do you want the 3% or the 97%? So it's simple marketing. You go to the biggest amount of people to try and sell more of your cars. Stop winding everybody up, jumping on the bandwagon. If the bandwagon's in there, everyone gets on marvellously. But there we go. That's enough for tonight. I hope I've sort of like opened your eyes to actually the world is getting a worse place, not a better place. And it needs to stop. It needs to stop, and people need to actually say, look, there's other ways of doing things, but don't do this, because you're going to throw the world back 20 years at least. All right. I hope. Well, I probably have offended people, to be quite honest, and they probably don't agree with what I said, but that's my personal opinion, and that's the main thing about this. Everybody has their right to their own personal opinion. It's called democracy. And if I get banned, I get banned, but as far as I'm concerned, this is a democratic channel where everyone can actually say their own piece. So, if you like that, push the subscribe. If you don't, you can push dislike. Simple as that. Ta-ta!